don't know, 2006. It's like 5 years, way too much of my life. I've done everything possible in the game to my knowledge. There always seems to be a new profession coming out all the time. A lot of it's kind of like, why didn't I think of that? I had to try it. I've lived in wormholes. I led as a corp for about over a year in C4 with a static C2. I've been a fleet commander in Hisec, Lowsec, and 00 with the Orphanage, our very famous Merc Alliance from especially GT44 Undock, FC for them, FC for the Glentain Militia, and Lowsec, FC for, I was a leading FC for Fatal Ascension. I was one of the 2 only reimbursable FCs. If you lose a ship, it was free because people rarely die in my fleets. I'm also an FC for the alliance I'm in now. That's the alliance Please Ignore. And I love it there a lot. Well, I've also been a leading Diplo, and I'm going to pretty much just handle this kind of like an FC kind of thing, you know. So I'm very familiar talking with a lot of people and no one talking, and just me talking. I've done it for years, and I always have a good time. Currently, I'm doing a new profession I've never done before. It's high-sec ganking. Pretty much go in and I kill hawks. That's all I do. Been doing it for about 2 weeks. I've been doing it all the time, and some of it is skill, you know, this is my personal skill, and some of it is a lack of skill by the people I'm killing. So this class is going to try to, hack out the lack of skill by the person getting ganked. We're going to be talking about how to protect yourself while you're hauling, different tricks, while you're mining. We're also going to be talking about how pirates manipulate CONCORD, because we do. And it's all, none of it's bannable, none of it's tricking or anything. It's just how we understand CONCORD, and you need to understand what we understand. We're talking about different ship fits. We're not going to get too much into it, like fit it exactly like this. However, I'll give you a broad, very easy to understand, and then you can talk to somebody else with like a fitting class, etc. And then we're going to, in the last part, we'll talk about why do people gank in the first place. What makes a person like myself decide to roll up on somebody's hulk who's just trying to make an honest living and kill them? I mean, why? What's the point? That's kind of a jerk type of move by someone like myself. I do understand that, and we'll talk about why I do that. Very nice. Anyways, so let's start off with the boring stuff. It'll be very brief, and go into the more fun stuff. First, we're going to talk about hauling. Some of you guys enjoy it, some of you guys don't. I particularly do not. Why do people get ganked while hauling? Well, first off, you have different sex statuses, right? You got 1.0 being the safest, 1.5 being the least safe. CONCORD, well, they have a set reaction time. As soon as someone shoots somebody who's not supposed to be getting shot at, basically not a war deck, CONCORD, if it's 1.0, will show up very quick and will annihilate whatever shot somebody else. However, in 0.5, it takes them like 15 to 20 seconds. I mean, it takes a while. It takes a little bit. So then it varies from about 15, 20 seconds all the way up to 1.0. And before we get too much farther, you gotta understand that you can get ganked anywhere in Hisec. You can get ganked in 1.0 in a freighter. If somebody is determined to gank you, they will gank you. They'll get 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 battleships. They'll sit on a gate in 1.0 and cheat it, and they'll kill you. I've seen it happen. Maybe not with 50 battleships, but I've seen it happen. And so, I mean, if your destiny is ganked, you're getting ganked. However, we can make the ganking target on your back much smaller, almost like a sig radius. Make it much smaller, so that way you don't get ganked as often or as hardcore. Because some people go from 0 or from here to 0 pretty quick, like that 72 plex Kestrel loss or whatever that was in the Orphanage pop back in GT44. So, I have a couple rules about hauling that will save your life. There you go, 74. First rule, as a CEO of a corp in 00 space, people tend to get ganked in Hisec a lot because they haul expensive stuff that they need to bring into 00 space. Or people in Hisec, moving mining, they're fancy hardeners, fancy shield boosters, that type of stuff. I have what's called a 200 million ISK rule, right? If you're in an Iteron Tech 5 or below, something that cannot cloak while warping, and something that can get shot and killed pretty easily, because even the best tanked 85 gets destroyed by a battleship. What you're worried about is making things cost effective, right? You have pirates tend to use Typhoons, Armageddons, because they're cheap, very cheap, like 47 million for the battleship. Then you have insurance. You only lose like 20 million off the ship itself, if that. And plus they're Tech 1 fittings, which are pretty much nothing for the most part. A couple, 10,000 here, 100,000 here. Guns are the most expensive stuff, and those aren't too bad. So if you give them a reason to gank you, they're going to gank you. You want to avoid gates like the Nia and Matty gate, Matometer gate, especially from Amara to Jita, because think about it. If you're a trade, let's say you're trading, right, and you're in your 85 bringing Tech 1 stuff, like guns from Jita to Amar, you have to go through the Nia Matty gate. Now, most of you guys live in Mimitar space, so because you live in Mimitar space, you kind of avoid that. However, there will come a point in time where you will have to go through that gate eventually. If you stay in Mimitar space forever, then you're my hero. But eventually you'll visit Jita at some point, I hope. If it's over 200 million, your chances of dying go up a lot, because the battleship, everything is worth like 80 mil. They'll make, in theory, 120 off of you if it all drops. And not everything's going to drop, and they know that. So usually they won't gank you. But, no promises. If it's over 200 mil, there's a couple things that you can do to protect yourself. The most effective way is to use a cloaky. Now, if it's something light, like faction, officer, shield booster, 3 billion-esque, blah blah, you want to use a covert ops. You want to jump through the gate, cloak and warp. You don't want them even seeing you at any point in time, because if they know you have it, they'll kill you. What they'll do is they'll scan you on a gate. You'll see some frigate locking you up, and then he stops locking you all of a sudden, and you're like, oh, that's weird, he must be bored. And you go 2 jumps over, and then you're dead, because they know what you have. Then you can do what I have always told my guys. Use courier contracts. Courier contracts save you. If it's something light, you don't have to have it that day. It's not a big deal. You don't want to deal with it. Set up a courier contract. Now, if you're worried about, well, it takes forever, it takes a couple of days, it may happen, may not happen, I'm about to make it really easy. I'm going to give you guys a link. Let me type it down here in the lecture channel. One sec. It would help if I could spell. Let me try that again. And as Achille already pointed out, Red Frog Freight. If you click on that link, go to their channel. They have an in-game app. It is foolproof. Even a caveman can do it, literally. You send them the courier contract. They have the same amount of ISK. You use collateral, everything. It's safe. It's effective. Everybody uses them, and it will get done in 3 days, guaranteed. So if you have stuff you want to be moved, and you're worried about it dying because you don't have the skills to fly a crane or any other Tech 2 hauler, that can haul real stuff, not just some buzzard. You want like your crane, etc. You want to use Red Frog Freight, and yes, this definitely eaves UPS. Most definitely. They get about 6,000 contracts a year. Actually, is that right? Is it a year or a month? Now I'm not so sure. I can't remember if it's a month or a year. They get like 5,000. Doesn't matter. Anyways, they get a lot. 5,000 a year. That's quite a few. I still think it's a month, to be honest with you. But I will just say a year to be safe. Yeah, it's a lot. And they get them all done within 3 days. So, they're the best. Use them. Love them. Hug them. And, yeah, don't die. So, now we got done with all the boring stuff. Let's get into the fun stuff. Let's talk about CONCORD. CONCORD has changed. They're different. A couple patches, things have changed. It's become more gank-friendly. Ganking has always been around, but it's much more popular now because of 2 things. A, if you're a -10 pirate, it used to be you get in a ship, CONCORD kills you. Period. You get in the ship, you're dead. You gotta go in a pod until you hit low sec. That's over. Now it's, you can be in a ship, and you can do what you want. As soon as you shoot somebody, then Concord comes. Now that may not seem like a big deal at first, but it will be here in a little bit. So, and Concord becomes manipulated now because, well, let's put it this way. Say I'm in my Brutix, because I am. I'm in a Brutix. I see a hawk in a belt. Fantastic. That smells like death. Well, there's, Concord in that belt. Probably because someone suicided a hawk before. So there's Concord in the belt. If I shoot the hawk, I'm going to die. Because they're going to kill me that very second because they're already there. So I decide, well, I'm going to get a Velator. Go to some distant celestial, like a planet, off the middle of nowhere. I'm going to shoot a particular ship. And this is where Concord and Hisec ganking has become awesome. The Orca. Believe it or not, the Orca is probably now the pirate's most prized ship. And not for ganking, for using. The Orca has become like the Somalia freighter of Eve's Ocean. I mean, it is like you take your Orca with an alt, you put in a ship. I use Brutixes, people use Thoraxes, whatever. You put in a ship, you find some hawk. If there's Concord there, you go to a distant planet, your Orca ejects out of the Velator, you jump in the Velator, you shoot the Orca. The police leave the belt. They leave. They come to you, they kill you. You wait 15 minutes, because you don't want to suicide when you're global, or so you die automatically. You then warp your Orca to the Hawk, eject the Brutix, warp your pod to the Brutix, jump in the Brutix, kill the Hawk. It's that easy. And it becomes, it's foolproof. And it'll happen every time. Now, there are ways to protect yourself. In fact, it's much more easier than you think. It's not like, what are you going to do? Run from every Orca in a belt you see? Because, let's face it, because they're supposed to be in belts. That's their primary function. If you're running from Orcas, there's something wrong. So we can first show the warning signs, which we will get into, and how to fit your ship to pretty much save you the pain. So let's finish up here with Concord, and we'll get into that. Concord, like I said, you can put them in different parts of the system. Some people think, and it's false, that Concord will stay in a particular spot till downtime. This is true for you to higher sec systems. You get like a 50, maybe a 10-man battleship fleet, shoot something, kill something. You get that big blob of Concord you sometimes see. That's the size of, Mount Vesuvius. That's like freaking huge. They'll stay there till downtime. Because it doesn't matter how many suicide gangs you do after that, because only send like 3 or 6 ships, over a period of time. There's so much Concord there, you can't thin them out. Basically, is what happens. There's different types of Concord. You got the police on the gate. I have killed Hawks on high-sec gates with no Concord being there, but it doesn't matter. Gate guns will not kill a suicide ganker. Gate guns, yeah, they'll tickle it, but that's pretty much it. And Concord escalates. If you have the more ships you bring, the more ships are shooting, Concord becomes more and more in force. In a .5 system, you usually only 3 Concord. That's it, 3 ships. So even when they're shooting at you, you still have time to get that last round or 2 off. My Brutix gets 7 rounds on your Hawk. That is 3 more than I need. I only need 4 rounds. I get 7, plus drones. So I have plenty of time to even take down a decently tanked Hawk. It's not like it has to be a naked tanked Hawk. I can take down most Hawks and have plenty of time to do other stuff like kill his hauler if I get the chance, which I've done on occasion, but it's very difficult to do. Now, you'll see what's called investigators, Concord investigators. They've changed their name in different regions, but it's pretty much the Concord, what's the best way to put this? Kind of like the Navy SEALs. They come in, they sneeze, and you die. It is basically what happens. I mean, they push the red button, and you no longer exist. Those are the guys who jam you, nuke you, kill you, and game over. Now, the only way you can avoid, the best way, is avoid the snuggling frigate. If you're in a belt, a frigate locks you at 20 kilometers, and he stops locking you, and he sits there for a while. And he knows he's slow boating towards you. And he just sits right on top of you. and he waves at you, or he'll probably say nothing. At that point, you should be concerned. You should probably check your site, your security level. Make sure you're not in a 0.6 or a 0.5, because you're about to get ganked. Slow boating, it's like he's slowly coming towards you. He's just kind of creeping, minding his own business, parks right outside your back engine, and he's just chilling. What's going to happen is an orca is going to warp to him. So all of a sudden you see a frigate and an orca. If you're not gone, you're wrong. Because if there's an orca on top of a frigate, most likely you're going to see a red pod warp into that orca. Then you're going to see a ship come out of that orca, and you're going to see that pod jump in that ship and then shoot at you. The only way to protect yourself at that point is how you're fitted. Why is this guy shooting at you? Of all people in the world, you're minding your business, for Pete's sake. You ain't hurting nobody. You're just minding, trying to feed a wife and kids, and someone decides they see you and they don't like you. I mean, it doesn't make much sense. We will get into that, by the way, as well. As for ship fits with your Hulk, you must, this is not an option, you must get rid of your expanded cargo hold rigs. The ones that have the engine on it, that little afterburner logo on it that every Hulk fits, because they want that bigger cargo hold for their mining. Trash it. Put on the medium core extender rigs, the ones that give you more shield hit points. If I see, I don't care how a Hulk's fitted, if they don't have those rigs, it's dead. Period. It's not even an if. Even if, I have a heart attack and I pass out, it's still dead. Because, my guns are going to kill it nonetheless, even if I am dead. That's a depressing thought. So, medium extender rigs. If enemy serves, a Hulk has 4 high slots. You can put different, you want hardeners. Now, most times you have a Hulk, you have a roid scanner of some sort. You know what I'm talking about? The ones that you can scan the roids, see how much it has in them, etc., etc. If you have an alt, if you have an orca alt, I would put it on your orca. Do not put it on your Hulk. If you have to put it on your Hulk, then fine. Make sure you have an invol tech 2 or tech 1. 4 mid slots. All right, fantastic. 4. See, so you have your asteroid scanner, invol field, and let's face it, the ganking ship of choice is Galente, because they got blasters and they hurt and they hit hard and they hit close range. You want to have, as your 2 hardeners, you want to have the thermal and the kinetic hardeners. Alright? The exact ones, it depends on your skills. If you're not sure which one it is, feel free to ask somebody. I'm not going to take too much time to get into all that. There's just too many particulars. Kinetic and thermal. Shield and ball. That's what you want. Yes, that's right. The one that's linked. In your asteroid scanner. Shield extenders in your lows. Now, your retriever, coveter, even Macnals. Macnals are less susceptible to be ganked unless they have something fancy. But I do gank them from time to time. So you want that for your Macnals too. However, Macnals are half as strong as a Hulk. A Hulk can be pretty beastie when it's tanked right. A Hulk can tank, 300 rats in the belt. It can. It's like that. You don't have to have shield extenders, but you can if you want. Shield tank. Feel free to talk about it amongst yourselves the best shield tank is. Battleclinic.com will save your life. Make sure you have core extender rigs. That's pretty much what I'm going to drive home. Invol fields, shield extender rigs, and put tank. And that's pretty much all that matters at that point. Because if I'm going to scan you with my frigate, and if I see if I see an invol, and if I see 2 extender rigs, and I see maybe some just random hardeners, I ain't going for you. There's no way in high heck. I won't break your shields. I just won't. I won't even get you to structure. I'll just die. And I ain't gonna. And I'm one of the better ones at it. So I'm gonna give you a couple links to look at. Feel free to click on that link. This is my personal kill board. I've done this for the last 2 weeks. If you click on pilots down towards the bottom on the upper left, you see home, statistics, pilots, click on Otard. Let's see if it'll load for me. I'll give you guys time with slower computers, and that's pretty quick. Oh yeah, nice tea. It's a spot. Alright. As you see with ships destroyed, I have 94 Hawk kills, 10 Macnal kills. The 6 capsules is when I was using the Smart Bombing Armageddon. I hope they didn't have implants. And if they did, they sure didn't say they did, and that'd be really funny if they did. So, about 104 exhumers in about, I don't know, 10 days. What's today? It's 2nd. So, yeah, about 10 days. That's all in Hisec, all in 0.5, 0.6 systems. That's a lot, especially just with one person. That's just me. I mean, and it's the same process. All these Hulks were all fitted without shield extender rigs, all of them. I have died maybe 4 or 5 times. I've had 4 or 5 failed ganks, all because of shield extender rigs. That's it. That's the only thing that saved them. They had shield extender rigs and invol and some other tanky stuff, shield extender, hardener or 2, and that's what saved their life. And I've learned, you know what, just going for it, even if he's a noob, just isn't worth it. Even a Tech 1 invol, just not worth it if he has shield extender rigs. If he has anything else, he's dead. There's not even if, and, or but. It just happens. So, to drive the point home even more, just in case you guys don't think this killboard, I mean, 22.24 billion ISK in 10 days. I played EVE, well, I said 2006, right? In 5 years, I had about 100 billion in kill damage done. I've got about 1,900 kills. I'm a hardcore PvPer. So I don't grieve my entire life. I just started grieving about 10 days ago and love it. So I had about 100 billion done in 5 years. I've gotten 22 billion in 10 days. I mean, at this rate, I'd equal 5 years in 2 months. That's a lot of damage being done in Hisec. A lot. And especially when it can be avoidable. So, I wouldn't share this with you guys. You guys are not my way. You're in Mimitar space, and I'm going to put out a quick disclaimer. Very quick. Whenever a ganker scans somebody, he's not exactly looking for corp history. If I gank one of you guys because you guys are in Colorado space, it's not intentional, I will try to make sure, because test, they only blew so many people. I'll see if I can blue you guys personally, because I don't want to gank you guys, because I do have respect for you dudes. I have some honor, even though I'm a Pirates comeback. So, to drive the point home a little bit more, I made a video that you guys are going to watch. I'll give you guys about, 7 minutes. It's a 5-minute vid. I'll let you guys with your slower computers catch up. I'm going to go ahead and post it. Feel free to grab some cookies. Maybe some sweet tea. There you go.
Can you put that video on Mumble, because for some reason
Absolutely.
I can't find the channel that you're putting this on.
It's on the lecture.e-uni. Actually, I don't think I can type it in Mumble.
You right-click over lecture.e-uni, and then you go send message, and then you put. There you go. Hey.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the video. Actually, I don't think I actually talked in that vid. Nope, so I'm going to keep talking. Make sure you turn down the music a little bit. That way you can actually hear me. So you can feel free to mute it if you want to, or turn it way down, even though the song is pretty cool. And you guys can, enjoy that vid while I'm yakking. So basically, I'll kind of do some very quick talking about it. I'm going to watch it myself. We'll have some time differences as people are coming in and watching it. You'll first see a frigate target a Hulk, and you see that scanner go. Now, once I have this guy scanned, it's like, all right, this guy, he's gankable. He's not fitted very hardcore like, which is about 90% of the Hulks. 9 out of 10 Hulks I find are gankable. All right, so I warp in the Orca. The Orca is, his ship in the pirate bay, and he's just chilling out, not doing much. He comes up next to you, then he ejects out his ship. And then all of a sudden, this red pod warps in simultaneously as the Orca's coming out of warp. My pod's coming out of warp. So we get there at the same time. It's not like I eject a Brutix and 10 minutes later I come in a pod. I mean, I'm there for a while, So I eject out the Brutix right as my pod's coming out of warp. It's a beautiful thing. Jump in the Brutix, lock up the Hulk. Every once in a while I get lucky with the faction. I've gotten a faction booster. Actually, the first Hulk you'll see getting popped was a 200 mil faction booster. But usually it doesn't happen very often. Usually it's just Tech 2. and I lose 10 million ISK. Every gank I do, I lose 10 million ISK. I'm not making money doing this. I'm losing money doing this. But after 5 years of playing, I've made a lot of money doing different stuff. And, well, you know, I decided, you know, I may lose money, but it'll be fun and enjoyable, which I'll get into more in a sec along the topics of why we do what we do. So pretty much at this point, most of you are probably seeing me just killing a lot of hawks, people crying in local, you know, and just a random death of hawks. Most of these systems are in Caldari space, as you will see. Jostamentu, Otella, Poinin, and they're all within 3 or 4 or 5 gems of Jita. A lot of hawks, a lot of people. You know, you get the idea. Now, while you guys are watching that, I'll go ahead and go into the topic of why we do what we do. Why I personally, I'm not going to speak on every ganker. You know, some people are just angry. Now, there are some angry people in the world who just want to make other people's lives miserable. You know, they're just determined to make people upset and, you know, just make their lives living hell. There are people like that. I am not particularly that type of person. I do enjoy making some people go, you know, WTF and local, just because it is a game, and, you know, why not? But, you know, I'm more for it because it's a stress reliever, because it is kind of fun, or funny, to see people get so upset, you know, over something that doesn't exist, per se. And you know, a lot of it is, you know, I enjoy doing different things. You know, I'm not going to do this forever. I'll go back to tests and FC again, you know, probably in the next couple weeks, maybe a couple months. I actually just got done talking to a guy before I got in here, and he's going to be funding me free Brutixes, apparently. That's what he says. If that's the case, then I'll actually make 10, 20 mil a gank, in which case I could actually make this a full-time career. If that happens, God save us all. But, yeah, that would be awesome. So, if I broke even, I'd be happy. But this is purely just for lulz and, you know, for the awesome video and people laughing. I've gotten tons of mails, people wanting to do stuff like this, etc. But it's mostly a solo endeavor. You can't really group to do this, because, you know, one Brutix can kill a hawk. You don't need 2 Brutixes doing the same job one can do, right? Now let's see here. I think, and you also have to understand, is that in 0-0, killing Hisec people is considered awesome. It's kind of like a medal of honor, if you will, to kill Hisec. Hisec ganking, suiciding is honorable in 0-0 space. It was looked very favorably upon, because 0-0 guys see Hisec as kind of squishy. Squishy. You know, the Hisec guys, you kind of like those little squeaky ducks. You know, it's kind of the broad perspective of Hisec people to 0-0 hardcore Yar dudes. So, when they see squeaky people die and they start squeaking in local, it makes them happy. So, you know, that's not really why I personally do it, but some people do it for that. Actually, most people do it for that, just for the respect among their people, if you will. You know what? So I'm actually going to use that. That's very nice. Now, at this point, I think I'm pretty much done. Yeah, see, that was only half an hour on the dot. See, I made my promise. So, at this point, you have an hour and a half to ask anything you want. So, I'm going to open it up one quick sec. At this point, I want everybody to stop talking. Everybody stop talking. Stop talking. Stop. Darko's last one. Alright, at this point, questions only. I'll open it up for discussion here in a little bit, don't worry. Alrighty. Feel free to keep asking questions. Go right down the line. Alright. We'll start with Department of Defense. Like the name. How likely is it to get ganked in 0.9 1.0 space? Well, it's like this. It's about, well, let's just say ISK. That's what it comes down to. At this point, you ain't worried about me just wanting to have fun. You're worried about people wanting to make money. So if you have 20 billion if you have 74 plexes in the Kestrel, in Jita, your likelihood of getting ganked is pretty high, if not very high. It's all about what you're hauling, what you have, and who's there to kill you. If you're in a freighter, the likelihood of you dying is very low, period. Because it takes a long time to kill a freighter, and the people who are killing you most times don't have more than 5 battleships. And at point 1, they get there pretty doggone quick. Very unlikely. Even in a Hulk, but let's face it, there's no Kernite in 1.0 space. Kernite's in 0.5 space. So, all the good stuff, Noxium, Isogen, that you need to build your stuff's in 0.5, 0.6. So you have to go there eventually. You want to build stuff. So, it depends. More safety, less risk. Alright, Lizik, how do we avoid getting ganked besides the shield mods? You don't. The best way to avoid, if you see that snuggly frigate, and he locks you and then gets on top of you, and you're in 0.5, 0.6, your eyeballs should be big. And if I were you, I'd just go ahead, and the best way to do it is go to a different belt. Just say, okay, go to a different belt. If he keeps following you from belt to belt, go to a 0.7 system, is my best advice. So, this is from Poetic, so you're still getting concorded, right? You're just delaying it by dragging the police and the belt out first. Yes, I always get concorded. If you avoid a concord, it's bannable. So if I like a POS system, I'm lying to the POS, kill a Hulk with the POS, bannable. CCP has certain fail-safes. If they see you kill somebody and not get concorded, they'll ban you, period. So I always get concorded, always. How do you get rid of sec hit? Alright, for sec status, the best way to do it is go in low sec, get an assault frigate. What you want to do is sec status updates every 15 minutes, and it updates by the most expensive ship you kill, right? So, let's say you're doing your missions. Your sec status goes up very slowly. Now, if I do, like in low sec, get an assault frigate, kill a battleship in one system, a battleship in the next system, a battleship in the next system, in this big loop, let's say I do 6 systems every 15 minutes, I go up 6 times faster than if I was doing a Hisec mission. Because it goes, your sec status updates for 15 minutes based upon the highest battleship you kill in each system you go. So, it'll take me a while to get back up to positive sec status. It will take a while. But with fast talk being trained to 4, it won't take me that long. Alright, Drax, 200 mil ship or cargo... Ship or cargo or ship plus cargo. Okay, 200 mil cargo. They ain't too worried about the ship itself. They don't want kill mails. They want money. They want some real liquid money. Bolik. I think is your name. Nope. Dodge. Yo, Bolik, why dodge? Your mic is on. You need to put up your push to talk. Why block, why dodge at the very bottom of this channel. Thank you. Alright, Saga Diamant. Do not, make sure I made it clear, 200 mil for the cargo. They don't care about the ship, cargo. Now if you're hauling 200 mil in an unfitted, 5 billion ship, no promises, but most times it's just cargo. Alright, Sarga says, do non-mining ships get ganked as well? You only mention miners. Well, haulers are a non-ganking ship. And really, it all comes down to what's in your cargo hold, right? If you're not mining, if it's not a Hulk, because you kill Hulks for kill mails. 200 mil kill mail plus. It's very nice, and Care Bear tears. If it's not mining related, it's probably cargo related. Now, if you have a 5 billion ISK faction mod and a Cormorant or destroyer, it'll probably get ganked. It doesn't really matter what ship you're in. It really just depends what's in your cargo hold. Or if you're a Hulk, then it just matters because you're in a Hulk at that point. Alright, do you salvage gank the Hulks for more ISK or just gank for lulls and lulls only? I do salvage. What I do is the Orca. And it's actually a good question, thank you. My frigate that scans, he stays there on top of the Hulk, right? The Hulk dies. The Orca scoops my loot, because I die too by Concord, and it saves me money by scooping my can, my wreck for blasters and stuff. I get the blasters. My frigate flips his drop and any cans he has. So I scoop the minerals and everything. The frigate scoops it, drops a can, and takes everything from his cans, his wreck, everything, and puts it in that one can. And then my Orca takes it. That way, my frigate, he goes aggressive towards the Hulk. The Hulk comes back, and the assault frigate, he can kill my frigate. Who cares? It's Tech 1. But he can't kill my Orca. But my Orca's carrying everything. So, and I will also put out Hulks are trash. When they die, they don't drop anything fancy. Rarely. I've killed 94 Hulks. I've only gotten 3 intact armor plates, and that's it. And everything else is garbage. Hulks are one of the worst Tech 2 ships when it comes for the good salvage. So, again, I do not make money doing this. Let's see. Runabow. How about preventing ganks when docking from a station? Your likelihood of getting ganked from a station is low, because, now if you're in G4-4, it's very low, because there's too many people there to scoop your stuff. It's possible, and they may do it for the kill mail, if you're easily gankable, but it's low. In other systems, if they're waiting for you, and you think you're going to get ganked, don't touch anything. Undock, don't click anything. Wait for about 10-20 seconds, and then click the station and spam the dock button. Because you want to try to get, well, you won't wait 20 seconds. You want to, and if it's a spit out station to where you start going off the station, you better hope you have an insta warp or something you can warp to real quick at that point. Or else you're just dead, and you know, that sucks. Alright, Jay, can you think of a way to make this style of ganking profitable? Yes. Profitable way of making this was, well, you're going to need more than you. See, what happens is, you start off doing this, right? You got positive sex status. I could gank a Hulk in a Tech 1 fitted thorax. Nah, sometimes. If it's not fitted very well, if like it has no tank, I can do it in a Tech 1 thorax and a half. Now, if it's somewhat tanked a little bit, I can do it in a Tech 2 thorax. Easy. See, what happens is, you get up there with your thorax, right? You just get next to him, you get it optimal, you throw out drones, lock them up, and then you shoot, right? And then Concord's coming. See, you have all this time. However, if you put a thorax in an Orca and you're -10, the very second you put your foot in your ship as captain, Concord's coming. They have this fancy mechanism to where as soon as you touch your ship with your finger, they're moving. So, you have to lock the Hulk and then shoot the Hulk. So, I mean, you lose about 2-3 seconds just from the lock time. So even with double sensor boosters, it still takes 2-3 seconds to lock the Hulk, which is about 2 extra cycles. And a thorax just can't do it. Now, if you get a group of people, like, for example, 5 Thrashers can take out a Hulk, and it'd be profitable. Because, you know, 5 Thrashers are like, what, 5 mil total? You know, just 5 million. And Brutixes are like, Tech 2 Brutix is more like 32 million. You know, but the difference is you have to have 5 people willing to do it, rather than you just getting on saying, all right, what do we have today? And making it easy. Alright, Drax. Concord only attacks you when you attack someone regardless of your sex standing. Yes. Concord will attack you only if you attack somebody else regardless of sex standing. However, let's be clear, remember, there's 2 different types of Concord. I don't know if I was clear on this earlier, let me be clear now. If you're -10 and you're in a ship, the Concord on the gate will shoot you, right? But they won't scramble you. And you know, you can get away pretty easily. I mean, there'd be -10 people in Thrashers that warp through the gates and never get locked up by Concord because they're too quick. You know, it's not until you start shooting somebody is when you get scrambled and then, well, destroyed. Seymour Fry asks, so you don't do this for cash, but only for fun. So I have to make it unfunny for you. Profitability is out of the equation. Yes and no. The only way it does not become fun for me is when I'm not able to do it. If I get nothing, if all the Hulk's Neve are fitted with shield extender rigs, I'm going to say screw this and do something else, because I won't be able to gank a Hulk at that point, at which point it becomes no longer fun. Drax, can you get a cloak ship? For, I assume, ganking or what? Can you specify, Drax, Draconis? Okay. I guess if you're using, I've seen some people use a stealth bomber to gank retrievers and haulers. Oh, gank a cloak ship, very, very difficult. It's almost impossible. If you're hauling stuff, you know, this goes back to hauling, right? If you are in a hauler and you jump through the gate and warp and then click a cloak button immediately, you'll never get ganked. If you do it right, you'll never get ganked because you can't target him. In theory, when you jump through the gate, you're invisible. You click the warp button and immediately click your cloak button. They can't target you. So, you know, yeah, you can't catch a cloaky if the cloaky's pro. Alright, Keelan Dark Knight, could you drop ship and someone else jump into your ship? Good question. If I was a pirate, can I eject out of my ship and the orca scoop it, or somebody else jump into it and it won't die? No. Ship dies, period. You can eject, orca can scoop it, orca can't scoop it. No one else can jump in it. It's just game over. Alright, Soko99 asks, so that's all about avoiding your Hulk getting ganked. What about transports? Let's say a mammoth. What's the profit cut off for ganking one of those? Like I said, 200 mil, period. If it's over 200 mil, the chances of you dying go up. They may gank you just for the fact you're in a mammoth and they had a bad day. I mean, it's not always a guarantee, but to get mainstream, the big, broad, ganking beast coming after you, 200 mil is the threshold mark. If you have over 200 mil, I'd use Red Frog Freight. In fact, if it's over 100 mil, I use Red Frog Freight just to be safe, because it's so cheap, dadgummit, so cheap. Just use Red Frog Freight. Gracious. Any comments on freighter ganks? Obelisk. Again, most of your freighter ganks are going to happen at Niamati Gate I was talking about earlier. You're going to need like 10 battleships or more to do it. And they have alts all ready to go to scoop whatever's in it. And, they're going to know what's in it because they scan every obelisk that goes through. So it's going to be very profitable for them, even for all 10 people. So, and if you're in a freighter, you're hauling stuff, just know where the choke points are and try to avoid them. And feel free to ask other people where they are. The most famous is Niamati. There are 2 others, but they're very minor compared to that gate. And if you're in a freighter and you're hauling billions worth of stuff, I'd steer clear of that place. Alright. Let's look at this fit. Mining and battleships are pretty much suicide-proof, yes. Though I do have to smile, because every time I see this mining battleship, I want to kill it. However, yes. For me it is, but you may see 2 or 3 people be like, WTF, let's kill this guy. And it could happen. But yeah, it's pretty much suicide gang-proof battleships are. What methods do gankers have to warp cloaking transport? Since I fly one through low-sec fairly often, I'd be curious. I have avoided a number of gate camps, but someone may catch me someday. Again, with warp cloaking transports, click the gate you're going to warp to, click the warp button, click the cloak button immediately afterwards, you'll be fine. Cleon Dark Knight, wouldn't the turrets make you die faster? Wouldn't the turrets make you die faster? You talking about the gate guns? They're, Kellon? Station guns, okay, yeah, same thing. Yes, but no. This is what you guys have to understand. In fact, I'll just give it to you. Here. I'll give you guys a treat. One sec. There's my fit. Feel free to look at it. This fit, as you can see, I have no tank. When CONCORD comes, I'm not talking about the CONCORD on the gate, the little police, kind of like the mall police, the mall cops. They're like, I'll web you and shoot at you if I want to scramble you. When the SEALs come, the guys are going to kill you. They ECM you, basically. You can't lock anything. When they come, game over. There's no locking, no shooting, no nothing. You're neuted, you're jammed, everything. So, tank is nothing. Who cares about tanks? So if I'm on a gate and the gate guns are shooting at me, it ain't going to kill me before CONCORD gets there. No way. No way in heck. It ain't going to kill me. Station guns don't scare me. I'll kill that Hulk before CONCORD gets there. And the gate guns are not going to kill me before CONCORD gets there, so who cares? Alright. Should extenders save them from 5 thrashers, Kellen asks. All I gotta say is if you have shield extender rigs, and the particular fit that I've been talking about involve a couple of hardeners, maybe shield extender, you will deter a big chunk of the ganking people out there. It may not save you. If you get 10 thrashers, I mean, I'm sorry. That's 10 people having to regroup. How many times you can get 10 people in a fleet to suicide a Hawk? I mean, it's not going to be an all-day thing every day for months on end, in theory. Because, it's just hard to get 10 people in a fleet, period, sometimes it seems. Especially if you go killing Care Bears. But one person in a Brutix, I can do that all day. CONCORD attacks cloak ships as well. Yes, CONCORD will attack a cloak ship even if... Yeah, it doesn't matter. If you're in a cloak ship and you shoot somebody, doesn't matter if you cloak, doesn't matter if you log off, it doesn't matter if you profess Christianity, it doesn't, or become a Muslim. It ain't gonna matter. Concord's gonna kill you anyway, and you'll die a horrible death. So it doesn't quite really matter what you say or do. You can join Concord. Heck, you can kill somebody and join Concord that second, and Concord will still kill you. So, yeah. Is it possible to kill Concord? Yes, actually. It used to be 0-0 alliances would come to Hisec and take on Concord and win. And that's when Eve made it a bannable offense, because Concord got beat. And, yeah, I think Dunes did it, if memory serves. Don't hold me to that. But you can't kill Concord. If you do, you get banned. Is it possible to gank an Orca? Absolutely. Yes, it is. I have found that you'll need 4 smart bombing battleships to do it. Usually, if you're going to gank an Orca, you can gank the fleet around the Orca, 5 Mackinaws, 5 Hawks. Get 4 Armageddons or 4 Typhoons, 8 smart bombs to each. You can kill an Orca and its entire mining fleet. Alright, Soko99 asks, another one. How do you scoop this stuff up so fast? Okay, how do you avoid the lag associated with loading the cargo up? That's very good. Well, first, I'm not going to get into my machine. I got to get a computer. What I do is I have dual screens. So I have my ganker on one screen, the entire screen. Then on my other screen, I have Eve and 2 very small clients. So I have a little box on the lower left and a little box on the upper, actually a little box on the lower right and then a little box on the upper left, the 2 clients. So they overlap just a little bit, but not too much to make it even annoying at all. So what I'll do is I'll gank the Hawk dies. That very second, I'll then go on my other screen and then scoop the loot and drop it. At that point, my Brutix dies. I will pop a pod, and then my Orca, because the cargo's ready to go, the Orca then scoops the cargo into its hold. So it's very, what's the word for it? Efficient, because I have plenty of time to scoop and flip the can while my Brutix is dying, because it takes a little while for Concord to really get the V12 engine going and dealing out punishment. Alright, is the Orca the best gang-proof hauler, especially when... Yes! The Orca is the best gang-proof hauler, especially, yes, in the corporate hangar. Absolutely. Let's see here. If you're scouting, or if you have a scout and you have something expensive, and you see 20 battleships, definitely gankers are ready to kill you, or somebody. Alright. Burlington says, so I should build Brutix and Hulks for max profit. Let me put it like this. And that's actually funny you bring that up. Hulks have always been going up in price. And they're kind of stabilized now. Even though I've been destroying Hulks, the Jita can always compensate. It's more about demand. There's so many Hulks to go through. It didn't really bump the Hulk market too bad. The Brutix market, though, got destroyed. I bought, I think, like 60 Brutixes or 70 Brutixes in like 3 days. And Brutixes were being sold for $19 million. And then after 2 or 3 days, they were being sold for $37 million. In Jita 4.4, yeah. I'm like, wow. That forced me to buy 2 Brutix BPOs, which cost me $700 million. And then I had to buy an Obelisk, and that was like $800 million. And then I had to buy the minerals. And then, so I'd buy minerals and then build Brutixes. And I'd build them for about $20.5 million each. So it's still better. Brutixes right now are being sold for like $23, $24 million in Jita. That's the new stable price, if you will. So Brutixes went up $5 million since I've personally been ganking. I pretty much upped the prices of Brutix, which made people happy. And even I'll throw a couple Brutixes on the market. My extra ones. I build 18 Brutixes a day, so I'll throw 6 or 7 up on the market and make a little profit. This is for Jita area. So much for Mar, everything else is pretty much stayed the same, because I really don't gank up there too often. I usually gank around Jita area, or Galente area, because you have Dodixie. Dodixie has a strong mineral market, which drives the price down for me building my Brutixes. Alright, if you have an Orca alt hauling for you, and it's close enough, if you're attacking, you right-click Orca store ship and live. That is very good. Yes. Actually... You know what? I'm not going to say yes. I'm not sure. I have seen me get my Brutix, lock up the Hawk, and while I'm locking the Hawk, pilot will eject and the Orca will scoop his ship. I have seen that. Now remember, because I didn't shoot the Hawk, CONCORD doesn't scramble me, right? CONCORD shows up, but they don't scramble me. So I'll be like, well, screw you, and then I'll line and warp out, because CONCORD can't kill me fast enough for me to get away. Now, if I shot at the Hawk, then CONCORD would kill me. I don't think, you can still eject out of the ship if you're being attacked. I don't think an Orca can scoop an aggressed ship. I don't think it can. Don't hold me to it, but I don't know. I really don't know. I'll let you know if it happens. How about that? Alright. Why do you use Tech 1 drones? Does CONCORD shoot them too? Yes. CONCORD shoots Tech 1 drones. Anything that aggresses anything neutral, CONCORD kills. So yes, the Tech 1 drones die. If I use Tech 2, that'd be very expensive. Lily, are you selective on your targets? Like only killing over X time players, or... Yeah, any Hawk is fair game. Any of them. If it's not tanked right, and I see it, and it's dead. Everything is gankable. Alright. Let's see here. Have you ever considered putting a fleet together to gank the Veld? Nah, it wouldn't matter. You can't get enough battleships to gank that thing. And it's Chibra. Who wants to gank Chibra? I mean, really? No. That's bad. That's worse. That thought's worse than any thought I've ever had. Bad person. The Bink, you are banned. Alright, let's see here. Alright, now, at this point I've answered all questions. Do we have any other questions? Now that's pretty much it, Naive. I mean, once you have shield extender rigs, shield hardeners, involve fields, you're set. You can put your Tech 2 hauling lasers and whatever. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put like a light drone. If someone tries a suicide gank, you can launch a light drone and get on the kill mail and get credit for the kill mail.
Can you get away with just 2 shield extenders?
You want to invol. Period. You want to invol. And you at least want the kinetic shield hardener. Or the thermal.
I'm sorry, I meant the rigs. Can you at least get away with just 2 of them?
No. You need 2 rigs.
3.
You need the 2. I can't remember if there's 2 or 3 of them. You need all
3,
your rig slots
3.
filled up. All 3 of them. 2, you know, I'm thinking 2 would probably be okay. Yeah, 2 would probably be okay. I think you can only fit 2, if I recall. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can only have 2 rigs. Yeah, so that answered your question. No, if someone has negative 5.0 sec, they cannot enter any sec stats above 0.6. But remember, Orca negates that. Orca can go anywhere. Get neutral Orca, and, you know, I can gank him 1.0 space. I mean, I can gank a Retriever. I mean, if I see a Retriever with faction mods on it and Jita, I'm going to gank it. I mean, come on. It's got faction mods, for Pete's sake. So, I mean, but most people don't, you know? And with the ganker, you're looking for quick kills very quickly and, you know, get your fix and move on. So usually I don't go, because not everybody has those faction stuff. Coveters, again, it depends. I mean, let's think about it. Thrasher can gank just about anything. You know, if 5 people in Thrashers can gank Retrievers on up, you know, they'll break even with Retrievers and they'll make money from Coveters up. But it takes people. It takes 5 of them. And if you're tanked right, you know, like I've told you how to tank, you'll be okay. If they bring 10, then, you know, I mean, everything is gankable. You can be in a freighter, doesn't matter. You know, the Veldnot is gankable. I mean, you get enough battleships, bring in 300, 400 battleships, it'll die. So, you know. Please, fit or strip miners. That would be awesome. I've heard stories. I haven't got any yet, but that would be great. And being serious, no, don't fit ore strip miners. That is you just dying to get ganked. If I see an ore strip miner anywhere, it's dead. Yes, you can mine in an orca and be safe. Doesn't matter if you hide your cargo or not. Now, if you're talking about haulers, it's hit or miss. Hiding your cargo, I've also heard tricks of people using 300 bookmarks, putting it in there so by the time they're done scanning, they'll see these bookmarks. That helps. That's just a little trick. You can use all these bookmarks, fill up your cargo with bookmarks, they take up no space, and when they're trying to scan you, they don't get anything. That will definitely help. But it's kind of useless. And yes, orcas are gank safe. Pretty much when it comes to being gank safe, it all comes down to people. You know, I don't want trying to get 5 people online at the same time to do suicide ganking is very difficult. It just is. You can do it, but once you're -10 and trying to get 5 -10 guys to go after an orca, it gets very difficult. You're talking about logistics at that point. And who wants to do logistics for Pete's sakes? You know, you want to do this for fun and relax and just kill stuff. So, you know, it can happen, yes. Does it happen very often? No. Anything else? Feel free to ask anything. It doesn't have to be, okay, yeah, it could be anything about like me. Yeah, it's about me, what I've been doing, whatever, why, who, what to what extent. I mean, it doesn't have to be just suicide ganking. Well, suicide ganking, again, has gone up. Like I said, it used to be CONCORD would shoot you on sight. -10 doesn't matter where you are. Now, very funny. Now, you know, you don't get CONCORD until you shoot somebody. It's a big difference. And you got the orca, which makes it easy. I'm talking, it's easy. You know, I mean, ganking 94 hawks in 10 days, it's got to be easy. I mean, 94 hawks, 94. That's 10 a day. That's a lot of hawks. You know, I mean, it's just a lot.
Where's your money come from when you gank them? Does it come from the mods that they have on, or does it come from the cargo that they have in?
Very good question. I mentioned this earlier, I lose 10 million per gank. I've lost about, I got some faction mods to help with that. But I've lost about 800, 900 million ISK so far doing this. I got my ISK from the past with the character market, whenever people got banned from the Unholy Rage. I made billions off of that. Of course, you know, 0-0 stuff. And, you know, I've made money trading. So, pretty much I got like double-digit billions. And I'm not going to get super cap no time soon. I'm like, well, you know, 10 mil a hawk, why not? Sometimes I get lucky. And if I get lucky, great. And if I don't, who cares? And if there ever comes a point in time to where I break even, then, or even make money somehow, I could do this full time. I mean, the only reason I don't decide just to do this is because at some point in time I'll go broke. At some point. You know, at this point, it'll be in like, if I go at the pace I'm going now, in about half a year I'll be broke with about 1,000 Hulk kills. About 1,200 Hulk kills. If I break even, okay, but sometimes not everything goes according to plan. If I actually make 10 mil a gank, I will do it full time, period. I mean, I won't do anything else. This is way too much fun. And, yes, it's fun, and people get upset. That's the other part of what makes it fun. There's a video I want to show. It's not really on topic. I'm so tempted to show it.
No,
you know what?
It.
One sec. I think I will. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? One sec.
Put it on Mumble, too.
Let me get it. It's on, I didn't do this. This was on, some guy in Test did this. FYI, people, if Test Dragoons offer you space, laugh at them. They're just there to scam you. You know, that's just them. It's not a test thing, it's just a people thing. However, there is one that made me just cry. Actually, I lied. It's not on the test forums. It's on, Test didn't do this, it's on e-forums. You guys will want to read on the forum, I'll give you a link. The Crime and Punishment. I actually have a post on there. Here we go. This is a good way to kind of catch up to the times. My post is on there, -10 pirate ganking hooks in Hisec. For some reason, people who read this think I'm asking for money, and it's kind of like, well, whatever. You know, a lot of people in here kind of cry because they're probably the Hulk pilots getting concorded. So, you know, whatever. But anyways, let me find that one video if I can. I didn't plan on showing this, but now I just can't help it. Alright, guys. Nope, it's this one. Oh. Thread? Probably. Yep, that's that. That's mine.
Can you put on Mumble too?
Can someone put on, I don't have rights for that, or maybe I'm just stupid and don't know how. Can someone put that YouTube vid on Mumble for me? Thank you. This is a very short vid. It's only 2.5 minutes. I'm going to stop talking. It has people talking on there. No one talk for about 3-4 minutes.
Whoa.
Alright, at this point, most of you should be done watching this. If you're still watching it, I'm probably going to be talking over you, but you can watch it later. Now, let me be clear, this kind of bites. Even in my standard, this bites for that guy. Because I think he grinded for months for that ship. So I actually kind of feel bad for him. Yeah, that's kind of a douchebaggery move for your own corpies to kill you. That's kind of a step beyond me. So, however, as I mentioned earlier, there are some people in the world who actually just want to make people's lives a living hell. And these are some of those guys. So, some people will react that same way when they lose a Hulk and local. Now, at that point, I'm like, sorry to make your life suck, but, it's still kind of funny, because people get so angry